All right, hello, happy Tuesday. Evan here. Intraday, we are 1 p.m. Eastern time. Markets are in pullback mode. S&P 500 down 0.75%. Nasdaq down over 1%. So we get a little bit of a pullback here as we start to go into this earnings week. And I want to talk to you about software stocks, believe it or not. Software is a place that I have pretty much hated or been just away from for the past couple of months. I've been very clear that would be a very tough spot to try and go through the wreckage. But today, I want to show you three names that are showing up on our Quant Rockets momentum model in software specifically. Now, these are, kind of trades that are coming back from the dead, potentially. They're kind of bottoming out. They're trying to lift up here, and they are pretty unanimously hated, as we're going to see. So let's get into it. Before we do, though, our market environment, just so we can touch on this real quick, our market environment from a swing trading perspective is still in the bullish state for 13 consecutive days. You can see in this chart down here on the bottom right. So our view at this point is still looking at pullbacks as opportunities to potentially add exposure. So a 1% pullback today does not change our outlook on the market environment or how we would think about adjusting exposure. Now, if your view is different, if you think the market just topped and we're about to go into another 15% slide lower, then obviously you are not looking for long setups and certainly not in software land. So our view here is still things look pretty good. If they continue to deteriorate or get worse, we will adjust. We will reduce our market environment. This is all rules-based, and we will slowly kind of take exits, move on, losses if necessary, totally fine. We are here to adapt. Let's talk about these software names. So first one, Datadog, DDOG. So this is a name that I don't think I've ever owned prior to now. So Datadog is sort of a analytics, cloud monitoring, has partnerships with all the hyperscalers, does a lot of other stuff that, to be honest, I'm just not an expert on the specific company. But here's the pattern. Here's the setup. So we got involved in this last week, 125.01. That's our specific entry price. Current exit or stop is 116, and our first target's 152. So this is essentially a stock. Let's go to TC2000 because this might be easier to see. If we zoom out here, you can see it was effectively in a 50-ish percent correction, 52% correction. And it has repeatedly tried to drop below this $100 area. It continues to fail to hold below there. And you can see we continue to test this 130 zone. So we have a good old fashioned trading range here that is trying to form and hold up. I meant to actually grab this guy, make it symmetrical there. All right, so this is the range that we're looking at. We're looking at this as a potential bottoming pattern here for a trade. If we zoom out further, you can see this 130 area has got some price memory going all the way back in 2024. There was a big range carved out around this zone. But the point is we've got a hammered, kind of beaten up software name. It looks like it's trying to go sideways. And our momentum model, if I can find it again, likes it for a potential move up. We have our trade defined like we just looked at, and we're going to see if we can carve out a nice 2-to-1, 2.5-to-1 initial reward to our risk. All right. So that's the structure. That's the way we're looking at it. Datadog's the first one on the list. We'll look at Rubrik next, which is kind of a more not as talked about security play. And so this one here has actually been hit a little bit harder. If we go back to TC2000, we look at Rubrik, you can see that this is more so in about a 60% correction from its all-time highs. And it's got this very similar look here where it's trying to bottom out. $45, hitting its head against $56. This is probably my least favorite of these three setups that we're going to look at, but it still has all of the ingredients, all the check marks that our model likes to look for in these early sort of momentum plays. And so willing to give it the benefit of the doubt. Again, this is all given to you based on sort of this alternate universe of, everybody's hardware, semis, electronics. this is now just trying to show this other view of, hey, maybe the market has gone too far on some of these individual software stocks, and just maybe we can get a bounce, a retracement, a move back up, and we can collect a little bit of profit along the way. So rubric, that's the way we're kind of looking at this. Let's go back to our trade screen here. 66 is our first target, and currently our exit price is $48. The exit zone on all of these gets updated every single day. All right, so what you see here by tomorrow's close, it's probably going to start to inch up or move a little bit. Just keep that in mind. Last but not the least, certainly least in terms of its corrective percentage, but not least in the setup potential here, I probably like Duolingo the most out of all three of these. Entry was at $100.56. Exit zone's $94. First target's $116. Take a look at this on TC2000 here. I like that it's already trying to get above this band here, and it's trying to get through. This had an earnings gap down, which turned out to at least potentially has this look of like a exhaustion gap down here, because the market really hasn't been able to make much progress below that immediate earnings day. And now you can see it's starting to lift up here. So you got kind of nice thrust up, good sideways handle range developed. And now we've got a potential close at new multi-week highs. So Duolingo, probably the most painful from the long-term trend perspective, but we're not trying to be investors here. We're not calling a big company turnaround. We're looking for tactical trading opportunities, using momentum here. And that's what we're identifying. So Duolingo, let's pull up our parameters again. First target 116, exit zone currently $94. That's the trade setup. So 3 software names. This is our momentum model, Quant Rockets, digging through the wreckage in software land and finding some opportunities. We'll see how they all shake out, but hopefully this video gives you some things to think about. Again, market environment still structurally positive for us from that swing perspective, and we'll talk more about that in our video updates on the weekend and later throughout the week. Hope you're doing well out there. Thanks so much for tuning in, and hope to talk to you again soon.